Hey, Charlie here again. Been asked several times on how to build a beach wheelchair or the best way to go about it. And it's Danny83 also asked about four-wheel drives. But before we fly, let's learn to walk. So the simplest power chair that you can build is probably something like this. Basically, this chair cost about nothing to build, all right? It's just a power wheelchair somebody gave me, stripped down, and all the components taken off it and put onto a platform. So this is just a bed frame. Cut it and bent it to what I want. You could even use just a piece of 3/4 inch plywood and achieve pretty much the same thing. You might have to reinforce it in some places. But this is no more than a flat platform. In fact, this is plywood in between the bed frame. So it's a bed frame with plywood, piece of 3/4 inch plywood inside the frame. And all I did was took all the components off of that wheelchair. You can see even this chair, the seat of it, is the wheelchair seat. I just cut it off and screwed it to the wooden platform. Even the arm is still the wheelchair arm. It goes up and down, does the same things it did on the wheelchair. So you don't even have to think about mounting the joystick. The joystick, everything is already done for you. The footboards, these are just snowboard bindings. And I'm sure if you go to any ski shop, they've probably got dozens of old snowboard bindings that they're throwing out. So all you have to do is ask. Or if you go to a ski club, people are always upgrading their equipment. Do you need snowboard bindings? No. You can just put a strap around this. This is just another chunk of plywood. And all I've done is put it on two little pipes. And I've drilled holes. Maybe you can see this. I've drilled 3 different sets of holes in this for people that are shorter than me. I just unscrew it here, move it back till I get the right leg distance for whomever is driving it. As far as the front caster goes, this is a power wheelchair caster that I modified, okay? Not using the same fork. And all I did, if you want to get a little close-up of this, you can see the terrible welding, but I just cut the fork off there, and this is a pneumatic wheel off of a power scooter. So I just welded this, give it some trail by extending the distance away from here. The distance from the top of this to the center of this should be at least 1/4 the diameter of the tire. I'll say that again. From the axis of the stem bolt here to the axis straight over the axles. In order to get this to trail like a caster, you need to add 1/4 of the distance of the diameter of the tire. All right? So very simple. There's no bearings in here or anything. I just drilled a hole right through the metal. If you want to make this out of plywood, double up your plywood and drill a hole. This is a 5/8 inch stem bolt. Drill a 5/8 inch hole in there and you're done. Throw some oil on it if you feel like it's going to help. It probably will. But that's it. It's simple. Okay? On the back end, let me just spin this thing around so you can see the back end. What you want to do, and what I did anyway, is start with the batteries. Okay? I made this for 2 group 35 batteries, or 35 ampere batteries. I don't know what group they are. They go group 1, group A, group B. I don't know. Just go by. All you need is a few small batteries. If you can do a lithium battery, great, but if you're going to do lithium, don't take it underwater. These 12-volt batteries that are gel cells, they're sealed, People say you're gonna get electrocuted. No, you're not. All right, you got 12 volts on each battery. If it shorts out in salt water, it's just gonna go from the positive to the negative terminal. It's not gonna have anything to do with you up there. So forget about worrying about getting electrocuted. So many of these beach wheelchairs, it's guaranteed up to, if you take it in more than 2 inches of water, you voided the warranty. What garbage? It's electricity, it's 12 volts. It's just gonna go from A to B and B to B. You get this piece wet though. This is your controller. Just mount it up high. You can go into water up to this deep, okay? I'll give you permission to go that deep with a wheelchair, and I've got videos proving it time and again. Just, you start driving through a big puddle in the water, you don't know how deep it is before you get out there. I'm like, oh my God, it's deeper than it looked. Just keep going, you know? What's the worst that's gonna happen? You're gonna stall, all right? And somebody can pull you out. These braces here, I didn't make these, right? These are what the motors are mounted to on the wheelchair. I just cut them off and stood them up on end instead of having my motors horizontal. I put my motors up vertical so they stay out of the water. And the gearboxes are down here, they're sealed. You got sealed bearings on them. And it's really rugged stuff. This is some Invacare stuff. Super good, all right? You can get the lowest gear ratio you can. These are 18 to 1s. I have some other ones that are 24 to 1s, but doesn't matter. Whatever that wheelchair had, just cut these motor mounts right off and weld them to your frame and do this. If you're gonna make this out of plywood, you're not gonna need these motor mounts, but take the motor mount off and use this bolt pattern to drill your holes in the plywood. And I just made it so the motors are far apart as the batteries so I can put them in between the motors. You don't have to do that. You can make this longer if you want and put them any place you want to. Make a little holder for them though, because if you bounce around, you know, they're gonna go flip-flopping. A little strap on it. It's all you need. Very basic stuff, and you don't have to do it this way. You can do it any way you want to. If you're building it, it's your machine. That takes care of the other things. The only tricky part is putting bigger wheels on it, and I have a nice video on how to make the plates to do that. So this one, I can take this chair swimming and do other things with it, but it'll go 80% of the places my four-wheel drives will go. I've even taken it for 8-mile walks with people on their bikes, and it goes almost 15 miles an hour with the bigger wheels on it. You know, the wheels are twice as tall. Before it went 8 miles an hour in its regular shape. Now it goes almost 15 with twice the tire size. And it's got plenty of guts still. Since I take this swimming, I drive it right into the water and I jump off into the water. Well, I put a little sliding board on this, and if you have your cushion here, let's figure, jump down onto the sliding board and into the water you go. The main point of this is not to get off the wheelchair, but to get on it. I used to be able to jump right up onto anything, jump right into my wheelchair. Those days are gone. We've named this machine Tetanus. You might notice a little rust on it. That's how it got its name. Probably need a tetanus shot if you use this thing. Another thing that I added, I used to use before, is a rubber platform in front of the seat. You can jump up onto this. This has got a nice heavy rubber pad just to keep my butt safe, and then from here I would jump up onto my cushion. You don't have to go with these wheels. I got these wheels off of a beach buggy that the state had. It was all busted up. So I got the wheels for free. Are you going to be able to find these? I have not been able to find them to buy them. My best guess would be go to Tractor Supply, and I think for a 180 or maybe between 180 and 250. You can buy two. Oh, I have some here. Hold on. All right, so if you can't get some free beach chair tires from some wrecked beach chair from your state, don't worry about it. These big bad boys, they're 22 by 10. This is going to give you more than enough flotation to get on the beach. These tires aren't as good for the beach, but they're better for jumping around on rocks and stuff. This is a little chair we're building for a buddy of mine, Pete, and actually you can just see everything is pretty much the same. Controllers up high, motors are mounted up high. They're just on the plates that came with the wheelchair. This is just a bed frame again, but that's about it. I know that these wheels are less than $250 for two of them. And the nicer thing about these wheels, you'll see that it has just 4 lugs holding the wheel on, which makes the whole thing much simpler. Just a 90-degree division to make the plates. But that's about all there is to building one of these wheelchairs, and I'd greatly encourage you, get something like this for yourself. Even if you have to build it out of plywood, just do it. You can keep making improvements, keep changing it as you grow. As you find different things to work with, you'll have a blast with it. It'll get you back out into the woods, walking on trails. You can make it so that it fits in the back of your van. This chair we've made to come all apart, okay? One little trick is there's a center nut in the center that holds the entire wheel assembly on. So we just take that nut off, the wheels come off, and then you've just got a battery that you can quick connect to. The whole front end slides right out. It trombones back and forth. But all of these things you can get and basically do for a song. If you can't find free tires, old lawnmowers. There's plenty of these tires on lawnmowers. Get yourself a junk riding lawnmower and steal the tires off of it. You can make the front tire on the lawnmower your caster wheel. This is probably a 4th generation beach wheelchair. The one I just showed you was probably a 3rd generation machine. This one here, if you don't want to jump down and be low, you can see I just added an entire aluminum wheelchair right to the frame. I just cut the bottoms off of it and basically just bolted it right to the frame. If I'm not going swimming, if I'm going to the ocean where there's waves, I'm not going swimming in those big waves. So it's just more a matter of practicality. I have more storage under here, so I always carry a little pull strap in case I get stuck or something. I've never gotten stuck with it, but if you have to climb over something crazy, you can do that. On the front, I just added a wheelchair tie down and welded it onto the front. So that's where I got that chunk of steel. And the same on the back in case I want to pull somebody. The other thing on the back, I just added a cooler. All right, this chair has a lithium battery on it. It's very nice. I've never run out of things with that. It has a cooler on the back that I can, you're always bringing sandwiches and your camera or your car keys, yada, 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 your wallet. So nice to have a cooler to throw things in that you're not gonna lose them or jump out of. A lot of times I forget going through the water and whatever I put under the seat gets all soaking wet. And one other thing is this is a shutoff. This is an 80 amp breaker. So when I want to turn the power on, I just put it on. All right, if I overuse or overheat, the 80 amp will just trip. So having a 100 ampere battery is enough. And these things probably cruise along at 50, 60 amps. So an 80 amp thing, but the best thing about this is when you're done, it cuts the power off from the controller. And the controller is right under here. Another little thing, this keeps the controller out of the sun. The controllers on all of these things are black. You let them sit out on the sun on the beach, they get too hot, and then your chair goes into a limp mode. So keep your controller out of the sun, cover it with something, and if you're going to get it wet, cover it with something to keep it dry. But keep it out of the sun. Put a breaker on it. This breaker was probably $20 on Amazon, but it keeps your controller and those things from draining down your battery when you're not in use. Because you don't use this thing every day, unless you live at the beach. But a great machine. You might notice I put a sand front wheel on this. This is wheelease.com. Okay, Wheel Ease. This is a really good beach tire, and it probably cost $150. It's got a double liner. Some of these wheels you can get very cheap, but they're very hard and very sickening to ride over hard stuff with a hard front wheel. It gets jouncy. This thing, this chair is so soft. It's like running over a blubbery and just go right over tree roots and stuff. So if you want to get going on a real soft sand beach, like we have up here in New England, Cape Cod, invest in one of these wheels when you get around to it. It's a good buy. Don't be afraid to give it a try, but the whole idea of making something simple is just to get you back out into the woods or on the beach. I didn't go to the beach for a good 45 years. And I missed it. And when I first built a chair for a buddy of mine, just so he could get out on the beach, I was like, oh my God, I gotta have one of these. Then I started using power chair parts. And it's been a great joy to be able to get out with these machines. So that's about all I have to say for now. Give it a whirl, get out there and try it. God bless, and keep your mind full and your bowels empty.